Alrighty guys, welcome back to 5-9 Gaming. For today's video, me and Battlemore are going to be going over our top 10 free-to-play units of 2021. As you guys know, I am somewhat of a free-to-play player myself, but there's only one rule to this, being that these units had to have been released in 2021. We took not only the units into consideration, but also their respective teams. Remember, this is opinion-based, and we want to know what you guys think in the comments down below. So make sure to like, subscribe, and let's get right into the video. Alright, so starting off at my number 10, it is going to be a pull, right? I think the thing, him coming at number 10, keep in mind, I honestly think number 10 is not a bad spot for this guy at all. He actually has some really good support, but he's just really held back by the fact that he's only basically buffing Frieza Force, Frieza Saga, as well as minions, right? And you mostly want him on minions overall, right? Especially given that he only gives death buffs to minions if he does happen to die. What do you think? Who is your number 10 right here, Battle?
Well, my number 10 is also a pull, and I agree with everything you said there. It's just that he's way too restricted for Frieza Force and Frieza Saga and minions.
Yeah.
But else, he has pretty much a good support, like switch to standby, give key, and then the permanent damage buff for the entire Frieza Force and Frieza Saga. And that is pretty good.
Yeah, that is, dude, I forgot about that too. He actually does give the gives the key and the main ability overall, right? The main ability, he's able to reduce sub count by 5. I think that's very, very powerful overall. If it wasn't restricted to just Frieza Force, I think he would actually probably be a lot higher on this list.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, well, that being said, let's Battle. Why don't you go ahead and ring us in with your number 9?
My number 9 is actually the legendary Super Saiyan Broly, the purple one you got from the Goten event.
Okay.
Or the co-op Goten event, which it's now Goten event. But yeah, this Broly is kind of interesting because he does gain strike guards when he enters the field. It's just that it's just too bad it's only activating 3 times when he enters the field. Sure, he does more damage against some family, but that's just some family. Like, everything about him is just increasing his damage to strike guards. Also, that he's very restricted with his card draw speed. Like, after 60 counts, it disappears, which I feel like... Like, he could have been a lot better. Sure, he restored his own health by 25% with the main. But, yeah, like I said, he could have been a lot better. Like, he's only strike focused. He is really good, but not to the extent of a very long game. At least that's what I think.
I could definitely see the argument for that. At the very least, I still don't think, like I said before, this, out of all the free-to-play characters that we got, I still think him landing a number 9 spot is not bad at all.
Yeah, what are your number 9?
My number 9 is going to be the Coat Goku. So I actually, I slandered this man a lot. Like, on his release, I slandered him. I was so mad because I was so excited for this unit, right? He looks awesome. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. I love his art. I love his model. I just love the jacket vibes, right? But the thing with this character is that he was definitely made around the same time that Vegeta was made, and they were just waiting for another celebration to actually drop him, because he has such a really weird kit where it feels so old. The best thing about his kit overall is that he can take Dragon Balls, and that's pretty much it. Like, I'm gonna be real honest, even his supportive capabilities, they're not permanent. Right, I think that's the biggest thing, and that's something that Garesh actually pointed out to me, is that his support isn't permanent, it's on a timed basis, and that's something that's like part of the old age, right? I've even ran this guy alongside the Jack of Vegeta, and I was more impressed with the Jack of Vegeta. I think the one thing that really actually made me put him on this list is just because of the rise of Mono Purple, right? Because he's actually usable on Mono Purple. Not only that, he does get that 30% to RP boost that was just barely introduced this season. So I think that's pretty much the most value you're going to get out of him, is the fact that if you do put him on Mono Purple, if you are getting that extra RP and just stealing Dragon Balls at the very least, because he's just a sack-off character. Realistically, if you're bringing this guy in, you already have the mindset where you're like, I'm going to let this guy go. Like, I'm going to give him up to a rush, right?
Yeah, I agree. I agree to that point. And I
Yeah.
feel like being here on the number 9 works too.
Yeah.
I can totally understand.
Yeah, I was really disappointed by this guy, but overall, it's okay. We can go ahead and let bygones be bygones right here. Let's go ahead and move on to our number 8 slot. My number 8 slot was actually the Ultimate Gohan Absorbed Boo, the Super Boo.
Oh.
I really, honestly, I haven't played this guy in a long time. He actually was, I believe this was the first unit out of 2021 that we got as a free-to-play unit, and a lot of people really hated him at first, I think, just because of the Z ability, right? Because he only has the Z ability for purple and blue, but you made a really good point early on, before we even started recording, was that thanks to the leader slot, you can actually alleviate this weakness a little bit if you do slide him in right there, right? Overall, I really like the kit. What do you think about this guy?
Yeah, this guy is pretty good. Like, he does the damage, though he stacks up his blast damage up to 150 is just incredible.
It's permanent too, right? Once he gets it all the
way.
way.
Permanent blast damage.
Yep.
Though it can be cancelable, so even though it's permanent, if they remove the buff, it will be removed. But he can ramp it up again. But yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. Just to throw some more slander on Goku, this unit came out 11 months ago, and he had permanent buffs, while the Goku just kind of like fizzles out, or his support at the very least. But that being said, who was at your number 8 spot?
My number 8 is actually Goku. The reason might be a bit different because, like I said, Mono Purple does exist.
Yeah.
Also because his entire kit with the Mono Purple is kind of interesting. He is so tanky that he can survive even the strongest blows. I was like, sure, he does no damage at all, and his kit is like not permanent with the buffs of boosting power, but the tanking he does, it's just insane. With the Mono Purple setup, like, he can take hits. Like, for real. It's such a surprise for me when I tried it out, and I was like, okay, so this guy is just here to stall time and make sure you do not die in the beginning. Okay, I understand.
Yeah,
but I'm really more impressed because in the kit it's so weird while this character holds, but when I tested him on the field, he really does impress me with the tankiness. I can understand why Vegeta might be better because of the damage, but I feel like they did that on purpose. Like, Vegeta is the one who does the damage, while Goku is the one who takes the hits.
Yeah, I can definitely say that, especially because of the fact that, I'll give him some slack in that aspect, is that he is a defensive type. Maybe damage isn't the best thing in the world, that you want to actually build him up. You want to build him more tanky. And, we were talking about the permanent damage buffs. I do have to go ahead and correct myself. I'm looking at the DBZ space right now. He does get the 30% of damage permanently after the 40 counts. It's just that the supported buffs that really do bother me, where every time the enemy uses an arts card, he restores his own ki by 5, and then you get 5% to damage inflicted by allies for 20 timer counts. And it says up to 20%. Like, just that fact right there, it really bothers me. If it's up to 20%, then I want it to be permanent, I feel like that would have made him a lot better. But yeah, I could definitely see Mono Purple, like, he better be beefy on Mono Purple, right? Especially given all the Zenkai buffs. So I think the number 8 spot is also very fair. That being said, we'll go ahead and move on to number 7. Who did you have as your
number 7 was actually Ultimate Gohan Absorb Boo. The very same you were talking about the last one. The reason why I put him a bit higher than Goku is because of he gains card each time he attacks, like up to 3 times. That is just in the game, just that 3 times done. It doesn't recharge anything, but with help of that, with charge of getting ki every time you use an art, like, you get like 10 ki, and that is a lot for using an art. And while he's buffing his blast art, his main literally boosts everything. Restore health, like the next blast art does 50% more damage. Change all strikes to blast, and the next blue card does 50% more damage. It's just 5 timer counts too. You can just do that right away. Sure, the downside with him is that after 50 timer counts, he will lose a lot of buffs.
Yeah.
But yeah, else that first kit that gives him cards and just ramp up the Rising Rush. Yeah, he is pretty solid. And on regen and now with the leader slot, you can actually put it up and do some damage.
Yeah, I think something that we actually forgot to mention too was just that the staple of any Buhan in the game, right, is that green card, right? He has some really that green card is actually massive for him because you're able to nullify basically every single attack except for the Rising Rush. You can nullify blast cards, you can nullify the strike cards, and if they're in close range, you can actually do a pursuit where you can combo it with your own strike cards and your blast cards. And I feel like that's really great for like stalling out time, especially if you have a green card in hand, because you kind of have like that stare down effect in a way where it's like, go ahead and hit me, I'm gonna just charge up my banish. If you do go for any sort of card right here, I'm just gonna go ahead and pop my green card, and that's a very strong ability to have.
Absolutely, like he is a bit crazy about that. The green card is one of the strongest green card in the game, and it does help a lot. It's just too bad it doesn't stop the Rising Rush.
Yeah.
If it does, everyone would have used it.
Yeah, that definitely is unfortunate. All right, so that being said, my number 7 slot was actually the Broly, right? The legendary Super Saiyan Broly. And the reason why I pegged him at this high of a spot at number 7 is purely because he looks amazing alongside Bardock, right? I think and the 30% to strike damage inflicted against Sun Family at the time of his release, I do feel like that was very like impactful, especially considering that we were getting so many Sun Family units in the meta. And so
yeah. Goten, Gohan. Oh my god.
Yeah, man. And so I think he was pretty powerful. And speaking of like powerful like green cards, he actually does have the barrier as well, right? I mean, I don't think it's as good as Buhan's, definitely, because it's only you can only combo it with the blue card here. But I still really like the fact that not only did it combo with the blue card, but it also canceled your enemy's attribute upgrade. So if you hit someone, like imagine if you're like in a 1v1 situation with an FSK, right, and it's at the very end of the game, he's last man standing. If you can get this off and you haven't already used the green card twice within the match, you're going to be able to cancel all his attribute upgrades, and you're going to basically be taking little to no damage from him, right? Because once FSK loses those last man standing buffs because they are cancelable, he kind of starts hitting like a paper towel, right? So
yeah, absolutely.
I really did like that about him. I do like the fact that I feel like he's gonna have the 21 effect, right? I feel like there's going to be a really bright future for this unit, because he honestly kind of reminds me of 21, and the fact that he has that card draw speed for 60 timer counts, right? I feel like when he gets a Zenkai in the future, he's going to be really, really unstoppable.
Yeah, the only downside with the 60 timer counts, like I said, it's like he has no death buffs, like unlike 21.
Yeah, that is true. But maybe they'll give him to him, like some uniques or something in the future.
Yeah, once he gets a Zenkai and stuff.
Yeah, but that's just speculation. I still think he's deserving of this spot right here. He actually, he does some good damage. And like I said, especially alongside Bardock, once he starts hitting those crits, Bardock can turn any unit from like bad to good, and I don't think this unit is bad at all. So when Bardock starts taking effect, he goes from pretty good to pretty damn good, right?
Yeah.
So that being said, let's go ahead and move on to the number 6 slot right here. I have Ultra Vegeta, and I think we start getting a little bit similar right here. Who do you have as your number 6 slot?
Actually, I do have also Ultra Vegeta here.
Yeah, so there's not a whole lot of like variations from right here. I'll go ahead and let you take over. Why is Ultra Vegeta at your number 6 right here?
Well, the reason why Ultra Vegeta is number 6 is there is nothing wrong with this kit. The only wrong thing is how he's going to be used, because in his kit he is either forced to be Frieza Saga or Saiyan, but his very ultra ability forces him to have Frieza Saga members, and that is even within the leader slot. His kit is still around the Frieza Saga. So it does not help the entirety of the team. If it wouldn't have been stuck on Saiyans, I mean Saiyans there is a lot, but he's stuck on an entire saga, which you are focused on only on Frieza Saga. That means you're only stuck like with Namek Goku, which is pretty good, the LF Namek Goku. You're stuck with Ultra Vegeta. Everything that is good, but when newer units comes out and that is not Frieza Saga, it's kind of hard to really put him on different teams and stuff. Especially when he got a plat equip that is literally they also focus on the Frieza Saga.
Yes, 100%. I think you just hit the nail right on the head right there. The Ultra ability is the biggest problem with this character's kit as a whole because everything else is so good. If he didn't have such a restrictive Ultra ability, I would have put him a lot higher, I think. Or at least a couple slots higher. Because it just... First of all, a Frieza Saga, like just a Saga overall, I think that's like a bad Ultra ability to have. Because you look at, if you want to compare and contrast Ultra abilities, like you have Goku, who's just Saiyans, right? That's such a broad tag and such a good tag to have as your Ultra ability. You have Omega Shenron, who's GT overall. Like imagine if Ultra Omega Shenron was only, he was just restricted to Shadow Dragon Saga. Right, I feel like that would be kind of like a nerf in a way, right? That's kind of like weakening the character in my own opinion. And so that's why I really didn't like this ability at all. But when you look at the kit, it's really good, man. Like he has the strike cover, he has really good damage, and you know, I feel like he came out the gates, and initially I truly was like, this guy's better than Ultra Goku, 100%. And then the plat equips came out, and we'll talk about that a little bit later, and so it kind of like switched up my opinion a little bit. He started like devaluing over time, but that's just right now. Like if Frieza Saga gets massive buffs in the future, maybe we'll see him rise again, but as of right now, that Ultra ability is really holding him back.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just too bad too, because everything else in this kit is just insanely good. Yeah. It's like, if it weren't for the very Saga that he's in, that everything is focused on that, he would have been a great unit, especially his green card. Like, gives him a card rush speed for 10 timer counts, and you can combo that with whatever you want, the 30 key. If you have multiple green cards, you know that can stack. His ultimate damage does massive explode damage. And it hurts. It hurts that this character could have been so good, but now, because of the leader system, he is now even more restricted than he ever was before.
Yep, exactly. Well, that being said, do you want to go ahead and bring us into our number 5 pick?
Yeah, my number 5 pick is actually Kid Buu, the very event-exclusive unit, the green Kid Buu. He really fascinates me, to a point that he is so good. But before I do that, what was your pick? So we might have similar opinion on that too.
my number 5 pick was also this Kid Buu. I completely agree. He is pretty damn good overall. I feel like him, even though I know a lot of people. It was funny to me because I know a lot of people called this unit DOA. Like they thought he was going to be dead upon arrival just because of the fact that we have the Fat Buu Zenkai, right? And granted, I do believe Fat Buu is the better green unit for like regeneration, but this guy he fits some powerful opponent. Like he has a really good Z ability, and he's very annoying to go against, right? Overall, like he's pretty good. What do you think?
Yeah, I think he's very good. It's just that unlike Majin Buu, the Zenkai one, this Kid Buu can actually be run on every team.
Yep.
Because of the leader slot now, his entire kit supports every team. It is not restricted at all.
Yep.
Yeah, and his main ability, he gains a blue card, restore allies' health by 15%, gaining key, nullifies attribute downgrade, up to 2 times to allies, which I find weird for a main ability. Because I barely understood it. But his blue card is insane. Like 100 chance to inflict paralyze. Yeah. I was like, bruh, no one like paralyze in this game. Why?
It is very toxic, dude. You know, honestly, you know what would be I don't want to go off on a tangent right here, but imagine queuing up the PvP, seeing this guy alongside LF Frieza and Hercule, bro. Imagine all the paralyzers that just.
I have seen that too in PvP, and I do not like it.
I'm gonna have to use that. Well, not to go ahead and get sidetracked here, but yeah, that blue card, bro. And in case you guys didn't know, also, if you queue up a Rising Rush, and you have a blue card in your hand and you land it with the Rising Rush, that paralyze will still get inflicted onto them. Just in case they guess you, you still will have the you still will at least have Paralyze going on your side. But yeah, the support for this character, the support that he gives his team, he breaks a card, right? Doesn't he?
Yeah, every time he enters the field, he destroys random enemy cards.
Yeah, that has saved me so many. There's been so many times where I'm fighting this guy, and I'll draw the ultimate. On whatever character I'm using, and he'll get so lucky, and he'll destroy my ultimate. And I think I've done that to enemies as well. So it's like a wild card right there, but it's definitely very, very valuable overall, right? He also is able to, after he gets attacked, after enemy attack is over specifically, he can shorten ally sub counts by 2, and he restores his own health by 10%, and that activates 3 times, dude. Like, he can be very durable. Like, maybe not as durable as Fat Boo, but definitely durable nonetheless.
Yeah, and the fact that his blue card is giving 100% paralyze is one of the reasons why he can be put on any team too.
Yep.
Because that helps a lot, and his kit does not restrict him at all.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, and the green card gives the green card gives him key, buff his allies by 20%, and with his switch to standby and buff 30% when he switched to standby. This is just insane.
Yeah, dude, honestly, I didn't even realize that too. The green card is very annoying because it also inflicts all enemies with attribute downgrade -1 arts card draw speed level. Only for 10 timer counts, but still that can be very annoying nonetheless. For your enemy at least. It's a very disruptive unit, very supportive unit. Definitely, that's what you want in a support unit. I think that's the main thing right here. You want someone that's disruptive. You want someone that's constantly supporting. He's almost like the Vados of
I feel like this is Vados, though with the more destructibility of a kit.
Yeah,
so Vados have a disrupt. Yeah, Vados does have the same, almost a similar thing. It's just that buff the team permanently, and with green card decrease opponent's key and stuff, and key recovery. But this is a different kind of disruption, and I feel like this Kid Buu really helps a lot because he has a cover change too, which like 30% reduced damage for 10 timer count. That's pretty good too.
Oh yeah, 100%. All right, so
while that happens, let us go to the next one, and the next one I picked was Super Saiyan Rose Goku Black.
Ooh, okay, all right. The next one
this
that
is
I
what.
Have... Oh, go ahead.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Is this the same as you, or?
You did, honestly, yes.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
My number 4 pick is also the free to play Rose, dude.
Nice.
I love this unit, man. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. I still see this. This is one of the free to play units that actually surprises me, right? Because some of the other free to play units listed on here, like, they came out and you saw them a little bit in PvP. I think like Buhan specifically. I saw him a little bit in PvP, and I have yet to see him since. But this guy, I actually because he came out how long ago did he come out? Like a month, 2 months ago? And
I think 2 to 3 months ago, somewhere between there.
Yeah, and I still see people rocking him in PvP, and that's a very good sign, in my own opinion, at the very least. What do you think about this?
I think it's because either you run Future Gohan or this Rose Goku Black, because this Rose Goku Black has some interesting abilities. Like it's 70% inflicted, cannot be stacked. It reduced damage to 35. Also, he has a hit on if something happened, if opponent takes bleed, heavy bleed, or extreme bleed. He restores ki by 5. He gains power up permanently, 15% by strike damage. He also draws strike cards if opponent is bleed every time up to 2 times. And this count resets, and that is insane.
Yep.
That's not even the best thing about him. The best thing about it is the second ability, power to bring about the apocalypse. Even though it's 30% strike damage to against hybrids, but the rest is just interesting. Like for 3 time accounts, he gets to have a green card, activate twice. When 6 time accounts, there is the ability. I was so surprised. Increase 20% to damage and restore 100% vanish gauge. That was the one that hit me the most because not everyone could count that.
Yep. Dude, honestly, that ability too is so damn clutch. I would have to agree. That is definitely the best part of his kit right there. Being able to restore your vanishing gauge, and especially, I think the perfect time to it's just like sometimes you'll have those moments. You can't always time it, of course, but sometimes you'll have this moment where you'll vanish your opponent's attack at the perfect time, like right at 5 counts. So once that 6 hits, you get your vanish gauge right back. He can prove to be very annoying, and the amount, like this guy, we were talking about durability with Kid Buu earlier on. This main ability that this guy has, he restores his own health by 35%. That is a massive heal. Like, it's only for himself, but still, that is still very, very good. And you know, him having that buff against Hybrid Saiyan, and I think you made a very good point here, is that if you're not running Future Gohan as your yellow unit on Future, you're running this guy right here. For a free-to-play unit to be like the second best choice, that is absolutely massive. I'm really happy with the way they made this unit, and I wanted them to continue making all of the free-to-play units as good as him going forward. Obviously, that did not happen with Code Goku, but he is such a blast to run. So not only is he good overall, but he's extremely fun to use, to the point where people keep coming back to him over and over.
Yeah, absolutely. And it helps a lot too, because in his kit, his strike gives 50% chance to inflict bleed, which triggers his very first ability. If an opponent is bleed, heavy bleed, or extreme bleed, gets all the first ability, like continued strike card, continued key. It felt like you faced a mini Vegeta Blue, and that was annoying, but that is a pretty good unit. And with his green card, gives him 100% chance for next strike or blast art inflict heavy bleed on hit. That's just insane.
Yeah, that's just insane. It really is. Even down to the Z ability, he gets 28% to future base strike attack and defense, which is alright at 14 stars, but he also goes the extra mile and gives an extra 18% to characters that are both tag powerful opponent and tag future. So if you have him on the leader slot, he's going to be giving all of that regardless, no matter if they're just powerful opponent and future, right? So I really like the way that they do these Z abilities right here. It couples perfectly with the leader slot update overall.
Yeah, and especially when he has the plat equip from the very Saga he's from, it does help a lot. He can tank and dish out, because he's very team the future, or you can the zero mortal plan team. Because of that plat equip that helps with his kit and stuff, it's insanely good.
Oh yeah, 1000%. So moving on to our number 3 pick right here. I have Ultra Goku. What about you?
Okay, before you say anything, I also picked that.
Yeah, I think at this point we pretty much have it narrowed down. People in the comment section, if you guys want to go ahead and predict who the next two are, feel free to do so right now. But Ultra Goku, dude, he's grown so much, man. Like, he's come such a long way. When he came out, I think a lot of people, even when he hit 14 stars, it was so funny because I feel like he came out and a lot of people were like, oh, he's going to be so good. He's going to be so good at 14 stars. And then people got him to 14 stars and they were so disappointed, right? But as of recently, he did get his very own plat equip, his exclusive plat equip. And I think it really, like, well, obviously, he got to the number 3 spot for a reason right here, right? So what do you think about this battle? What do you think about this guy?
This guy is really good. It's just that at the beginning when he was appeared, his damage was not doing the thing you wanted him to do, because he has no card draw speed and stuff. But because of his green card gaining 2 cards, he does fill out everything. By doing damage, he heals himself, gain ki, have an ultimate. He has his ultra ability that is for Saiyan, that is a more broad tag. Like I said before with the Vegeta, because he's forged with the Saga, this Goku is not forged with the Saga, but forged with the tag. Yep. At least that tag has more variety, because it's the most units in the game that is Saiyan. Mm-hmm. And yeah, his kit is very good, and thanks to the plat equip that gives him 10% per each Saiyan, like, pure strike 10%, yep. That is a lot.
That is very good.
That is so insane, especially if you run here with Super Saiyans, Bardock. That is more insane of a damage.
Yeah.
Like, God, it felt like I had a unit that was an LF, but it was for free. I was like, I was happy.
Yeah, I was honestly very happy too, because it's just like, dude, he literally went from zero to hero, man. Like, because everyone was just talking about like, oh, this guy is not going to be touching any of the red Saiyans. Like, you are not going to want to run this guy. Like, you have so many better Saiyan options. And now I see him a lot more being around on Saiyan teams, especially for like a free-to-play unit, man. Like, he really did surprise me a lot. Like how you said, you get a whopping 30% basically with the inclusion of that plat equip right here, right? Because you do get that 10% right there. You're going to be running him presumably with all Saiyans, because that's what you want him to do, especially to proc that full ultra ability. He actually feels like an ultra unit. He becomes that powerful, man. Like, even without, I noticed that, yes, with Bardock he looks absolutely amazing, but even without Bardock, thanks to this plat equip, he can actually do damage on his own accord without needing the Bardock crits exactly, right? So it's just like, I feel like this plat equip really saved him. I'm gonna be real honest with you guys. If he didn't have this plat equip, he would not be at this spot right here.
Yeah, but because of the plat equip, he can do the damage. He can be put on any Saiyan team, in even Super Saiyan, because of Bardock. Yep. But in Saiyans, if you have Angel Vegeta, Super Saiyan 3 Green Goku, that was literally the team I kept seeing.
Yep.
And the insane damage he put out, I was like, oh my god, calm down. It's like, oh, it hurts. I mean, sure, he is still a bit squishy, but the damage takes over for a reason.
Yep, completely agree.
And while we're on the subject of another unit, our number 2, or my number 2 at least, is Roberry.
Okay, interesting. So I have to be real honest with you, Battle. My number 2 is also Roberry.
Oh, no way, really?
Yeah, dude, this unit, man. I take it over, Battle, because I'm about to just fall into a trance, man. I absolutely love this unit.
This Roberry, I cannot believe his ability is so short, but because of it, it's so good. Because he is a unit that literally can tank anything. And when opponent does a Rising Rush, his own substitution count is reduced by 10. And that is everything. Usually because every sub count is up to 10. And because of, he has also endurance. He's literally one of the tankiest units, and he's ready to take hits. And sometimes even if you rush, you cannot kill him because he's so tanky. He also has death buffs, which is interesting. The most is for the minions, but it works on the entire team too, by giving everyone more health. But his main ability heals himself, gives him permanent 20% damage. He's reducing next damage sustained by 20%. This applies until the end of combo is finished, and it takes just 15 timer counts to do that. Like his kit, his green card gives him more damage, also reduce or restore own health again by 20 timer count. Like this is the best unit to tank anything, even a Rising Rush, because you can literally have him on the field and they attack and you switch and they Rising Rush you right away. You can literally go back to this Roberry. It's like, no, I will protect you.
Yeah, dude, exactly. He and for me, this unit is the perfect defense unit, right? Because I feel like when you think about defense type units, a lot of defense type units, especially free to play defense type units, really fall short. Like I'm gonna be real honest once again. Goku, he's one of those defense type units. I feel like he kind of like fell short in some ways, right? But this guy, he's everything that you wanted out of defense type. He actually is even better than some of the sparking units that we have as defense types as of right now. I think what really like cemented his spot as number 2 for both of our lists is the inclusion of that leader slot ability, right? Because he has a good Z ability, 35% to both blast attack and defense. And so when you slap him on that leader slot, he's not just hoarding that Z ability just for himself or for Frieza Force or for Frieza Saga. He's distributing that to everyone in your party, so he doesn't feel like he's dragging down your team in no way, shape, or form. Like when the leader slot first came out, I saw this guy on so many God Key teams, like on so many teams just in general, but more specifically God Key, because they desperately needed the red, right? And he honestly, he fits so damn well, right? I
Also because the God Key needed the endurance unit.
Yep.
They literally only have a revive, and that is not the best thing.
Yeah, R.I.P. Clapku, but no disrespect to Swift, but
yeah, exactly.
But yeah, this guy, absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
The only thing that I would say is restrictive on him is just that his death buffs, right? Pretty much majority of the minions, they only give death buffs to minions, right? So that's literally it. That's the one criticism about him right here, is just that the death buffs are restricted to just the minion tag. But overall, like, he also, something that I think a lot of people forget that saved me so many times is just that Vanish Gauge recovery. Gets that 30% to Vanish Gauge recovery for 10 timer counts every time he enters the battlefield, right? It doesn't stack or anything like that, but it's just something very just helpful to have, especially when you're kind of just stalling out time, or you're just kind of just stalling or just chilling there,
I
right?
mean,
overall,
technically it does stack, because if you enter him with on the field, then you switch, opponent attacks right away, and then rush, you can literally switch him back.
Oh yeah, well yeah, there you go. That's very true right there. So you can stack it. It doesn't say cannot be stacked. Or
Yeah, you
like
cannot
that.
stack how much you want it to, but you can at least make sure you can stack it twice,
Yeah.
or one time.
Yep, that is very true right there, indeed. And then, you know, just overall, fantastic unit. I could talk about this unit all day. You know, he definitely is the best out of all of the minions.
Best free-to-play extreme unit.
Yeah, I would honestly give him that title. Out of every single extreme that we've ever gotten, when it comes to like Zenkai units or anything like that, I think he is right there at the very, very top.
Yeah, I will say on the free-to-play. The very top on extreme is Roberry.
yeah, definitely free to play, because you also have competition like, well, yeah, like Yajirobe and Goku. But that being said, let's go ahead and move on to our number one pick, Omega Shenron. Yeah, dude. Yup. Let's go, dude. Just the average GT enjoyers, right? The actual Giga
the
chats
Ultra
right
Omega Shenron. His very kit is very interesting. He gave GT a chance to rise above everything. Like, sure, his Ultra ability is restricted to GT, and so far there is kind of a lot of GT members, but not a lot like Saiyans. But it changes a bit because he supports with his Ultra ability. That is a one of a kind that supports his allies, buffing their team permanently. Also because he is a defense type. While we talk about Roberry, this guy here is also a defense type. But he is a kind of different defense type, because he feels like, if you know who Bergamo is, he is similar to Bergamo in a way.
Yep.
Because also, every time he attacks, he debuff opponent. The opponent needs to take more hits, and their health restoration are also decreased. Up to 15 time counts every time you hit with the Striking Blast. He does also buff up to himself. 10% damage up to 4 times. I think it was that at least. But he does buff himself, and he is insane. The only thing I have problem with him is his animations. Else his kit is very good. The animations is just weird. What do you think? What do you think?
I honestly agree with the animation. The animations could have been a lot better, for sure. But
I felt like I wanted to use Omega Shenron against Baseball Jump Shot. It felt like a baseball game.
But overall, I think this guy was everything that you needed right here. Like, he is a defensive type, but he can put out damage. Like, if you go against this guy and you don't think you're going to get hurt by this guy, you're absolutely incorrect. And he is so, not only is he tanky, not only does he do damage, but he can be very disruptive. If you look at his green card, if he hits that green card on you, dude, it's 100% chance to inflict paralyze. He's going to be destroying 2 of your card, and he reduces the enemy's ki by 30, bro. Just, I mean, the other 2 abilities are nice, but that 100% chance to paralyze, I mean, for the most part, you want to kind of, pretty much, I notice a lot of GT players, they kind of save the green card for Majub specifically, so they can secure a priority. But
Yeah.
hitting this is still, you know, I'll just do it just so I can go ahead and be toxic, right? You know, why not get that 100% chance to inflict paralyze? It's so
also the green card is a fast animation.
Yes.
So people does not realize this because it literally looks like it takes a while when using it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it is a fast animation and people usually attack right away. But you can sidestep that out.
Yep, 120%, bro. That green card is so damn good, bro. I think a lot of GT players don't utilize it as much. Like I said, pretty much a majority of them kind of opt to use it for Majib or for the Gogeta 4, right? Everyone on that team has some pretty good green cards, if I do say so myself. But just speaking about like just the disruptiveness of this character and just the nature of his kit, his main ability. So when you pop the main ability, you cancel enemies' attribute upgrades and buff effects. That is such a powerful ability, right? Because once again, you can go back to the FSK situation where if you cancel all his upgrades and stuff like that, if he's last man standing, you're basically going to turn him into a wet noodle. And not only that, but if you get the ultimate off that you draw with the main ability, you also have a 30% chance to inflict faints on hit. And you know that
that is insane because only a few characters had that. Like we have the Senkai Blue Broly with his blue card. We have the Super Saiyan 3 Senkai Goku with his ultimate art. This guy has also on his ult, and that is not focused on Saiyans.
Yep. It is
which
just so
makes
good.
him really good.
Yep. It's just like I said before, this guy's almost essentially like the jack of all trades right here. Like imagine, I think the only thing that, like this guy competes with literally sparking units right here. Like if you put him on a tier list with sparking units, like I would say this guy's easily S tier, like mid S tier right here. Like he is that damn good.
Yeah. Also because he is similar to Bergamo, once his HP is below half his health, he restores back 30%, permanent 50% damage, and he gets card draw speed for 50 timer counts. Which makes him more definitely a good defense type. He heals back, and then he can just dish out, have card draw speed to just help the team get more cards.
Yeah, and the amount of health that he can restore is just absolutely stupid, bro. I've had him like almost be like on the cusp of death, like literally like right there, like maybe like at 10%, 15%. And then he'll heal up like just so much. He'll like heal up almost all the way up to 70% by the time the match is over right there. Like it's just absolutely crazy. Coupled with the fact because when I look at these units and when I make these lists, I consider the team as well. So you're probably going to be running him alongside Majib for the most part. A lot of people do. And Majib also has that team heal. So you're just getting so many heals just all around. And especially when he's just focused on being like taking a bunch of damage, healing up all that damage, gradually healing up all that damage. And then once he gets down to 50%, he gets that big hill, right? He gets like literally 30% is a lot, man. Like it is.
It is.
Yeah, it is so much, bro. So it's like.
Though you can also run him with Shadow Dragons if you just want to have fun.
Ooh,
There is Nova and I Shenron, and that is literally the fun party there.
Yeah, it definitely is, dude. This guy,
Make more Shadow Dragons.
he's the perfect unit, and he definitely deserves this #1 spot right here. But that being said, that's gonna basically be our list right here from 5-9 Gaming, me, Azdeek, and Battlemore. Let us know, because this is opinion based, right? If you guys have any criticisms, any different opinions on this, let us know in the comments down below. We're very curious to hear your thoughts on this. This is all for fun, right? This is not a guaranteed, like, if you guys disagree that Roberry is #2, that's more than fine with us, right? It's not the end of the world right there, but we do like to hear your opinions on this, so let us know. And that being said, make sure you guys follow us on all of our social medias. We have TikTok, we got LinkedIn, Instagram, all of that good stuff. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Later.
Bye, guys.